Air conditioning is now becoming quite popular because of various reasons.
Like humidity is so big. It looks very small issue, but when it is humid, nobody can sit there.
Uh, with a humid atmosphere, you tend to lose the furniture starts get damaging, your ceilings get start
Yes,
damaging, your paint starts get damaging. So
exactly.
to keep all this, in fact, nowadays the furniture also that you get has to be maintained under a certain temperature, 25 degrees temperature. Say there is nothing called as better cooling. It is called as the correct cooling. When the machine reaches that, when the room reaches the temperature of 24, the compressor has to cut off.
That I never thought of because the
Yeah.
Diva Will itself was very well shocking for me.
Cold, we don't really care for it. We just enjoy the nice and just forget it. Haywire to everybody to get my AC done. Emergency. I want it yesterday. You know.
Good afternoon, everyone. And this is Saida once again. Welcome to this group. And today we have invited our very own Mr. Yogesh. And Mr. Yogesh is expert in AC performance, and you can talk to him all the time, and he can keep talking for hours and hours about the aircon conditioning, aircon performance, and optimization. And I thought to bring him on to give a talk about how we can have the optimized air con in our houses, in our offices and warehouses. And this is a huge talk in the town these days, and it will be a huge talk, a big talk in a town for next 6 months. So why not to talk here and give you some tips and tricks? Welcome, Mr. Yogesh. How are you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you,
So tell
Sayeda
me
ji.
about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Yogesh, and I run a company called Accurate Management Consultancy, which was started by me in 2016. I specialize in air conditioning and have been into the field for past 25 years. And Accurate basically does design, installation, maintenance, energy saving, energy management, problem solving, and everything in air conditioning.
Wow.
And
So how did you enter in this industry? What do you think that this industry is helping us as a consumer?
See, basically, air conditioning is now becoming quite popular because of various reasons.
Mm.
Earlier, in an air conditioning itself, you've got various segments. You've got industrial air conditioning, you've got residential air conditioning. In industrial air conditioning, in segments like pharmaceuticals, it's very important to have air conditioning considering the mandatory authority requirements, the cleanliness class, and all those things. So that's a mandatory requirement. But of late, if you see with the consumer air conditioning also, now air conditioning is becoming slowly important from the point of view of your health also, because considering all the impurities in the air, the pollution, the carbon levels, and everything, you need to have a more cleaner atmosphere. And then again, with the temperatures rising, the ozone layer depleting, and all those things happening, the temperature of the atmosphere is getting, it's increasing. So at times, only a ceiling fan does not help you to keep you at a comfort level. And then air conditioning takes care of your temperature, and it takes care of the humidity also. Humidity is one factor which is very uncomfortable. Even if you're sitting in a shaded atmosphere in your house, and if it's humid, then you're very uncomfortable. So from these point of views, the air conditioning for the consumer is becoming important, and it's going to grow in its importance in the coming days.
Exactly. You are so right. Like humidity is so big. It looks very small issue, but when it is humid, nobody can sit there, actually.
Exactly. It is,
Exactly.
and you become very uncomfortable. A person becomes very and humidity not only makes you uncomfortable, but at the same time, if you see, uh, with a humid atmosphere, you tend to lose the, your furniture starts get damaging, your ceilings get start
Yes.
damaging, your paint starts get damaging, so all these things, it affects, slowly it affects your internal this thing of your
Interiors.
house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
So to keep all this, in fact, nowadays the furniture also that you get has to be maintained under a certain temperature, 25 degrees temperature. Otherwise, with the heat that we have in this part of the world, it could, get spoiled. So
Right.
so the importance is quite a lot in consumer side also, other than the industrial.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me, summers are here and we all are looking for better cooling. What should we all need to do in the start of the season? What should we need to do with our air cons?
Yeah. See, Sayyadaji, there is nothing called as better cooling. It is called as the correct cooling. The word is correct cooling, you know, the correct type of a temperature. Now, when you say correct temp, okay, so what we have to do, first of all, your air conditioners have to be in a good condition, a good, uh, performing properly, giving you the correct temperature and doing the perfect amount of dehumidification. So this is the first thing that has to be done. Now, to bring your air conditioners to this condition, is you have to first of all maintain your air conditioners very well. That is the prime importance. It has to be serviced. Your scheduled maintenance has to be done on time. um, if you spot out any problems or any breakdowns, you have to attend it immediately and take care of that and resolve those issues, and not let it increase. As we say that stitch in time saves nine, so it's like that. So immediately do that. But to minimize your breakdown times, you need to do a proper scheduled maintenance. You need to see that your maintenance teams, they do your filter cleaning on time, they do the coil cleaning on time, your blowers are serviced properly, your ducts are cleaned properly, everything is done on time, and then your electricals are checked. So this is the checks are done properly. So this is a very important part to keep your air conditioner in a spick and sound condition so that it serves you when you need it.
Right. So with the respect of the homeowners, what are or tenants in the home, what are the checks they need to do in the start of the season? That AC should be well serviced, or they just should hire someone to do the AC service and it's enough to start the season?
Yeah. So what we do is, for the start of the season. Now this is going to be a rough season because of the summers. So definitely. So first of all, they need to schedule a proper maintenance. They need to check whether the air filters are cleaned properly. They need to do a complete deep cleaning of the AC. What happens is, you have coils. You have a condenser coil, and then you have an evaporator coil. Now, if I'm speaking about a ductable split AC, you have an outdoor unit and an indoor unit. Indoor unit will have your evaporator coil, and your outdoor unit will have a condenser coil. Now, for example, if your condenser coil is blocked or choked up, there is no proper heat transfer which is going to take place. So if the heat transfer does not take place over there, it will have a load on the compressor, and your compressor may blow off. Then again, if your evaporator coil is choked up, then it can form, there can be frost formation or something like that. Again, with water coming in, your compressor, your power circuits can blow off. So all these things have to be properly checked. Electricals, coil conditions, everything has to be checked properly. And when you enter into a summer, and of course filter cleaning has to be done every 2 to 3 months. Coil
Mhm.
cleaning can be done maybe once in 6 months. But filters have to be made, because filters reduce your air volume, your airflow. And if your airflow is reduced, this again brings in pressure on the blower, and again there is a problem in the heat transfer. So it's a completely a vicious circle. one component is not performing well, your entire air conditioner starts giving you troubles and problems. So these are the things that need to be taken care of.
Okay, so how do I know our ACs are working at optimum performance?
As a consumer, or as a say a residence owner, say for example, first of all, the air coming out of your vent, of your supply vent, if it is not, if you experience it that it's not as cold, say you set the temperature at 24 and it's not coming as cold as you normally experience it, then there is a problem. Or if the volume of air or the quantity of air that is coming in is not coming in sufficiently, that also can tell you that there is some problem. Of course, nowadays with technology, if it's a VRF system, there are various systems, so you have a VRF system, variable refrigerant flow. In these type of system, it even gives you a signal in your thermostat or in your maybe in your PCB boards that filters are choked, coils are choked, or whatever, compressor is not working, power circuit has a problem. So this is indicating also. So some thermostats also may have that. But as a layman, yes, you can experience the cooling effect of the air that is coming out, or the quantity of air that is coming out, and that can give you a feel that yeah, something is wrong somewhere, and then you call a expert or a technician and get your doubt resolved. That's the best thing to do.
Yeah, I remember we had the similar problem, and then we found that the thermostat was faulty. So
Yeah,
there was no problem with the AC, but the thermostat was faulty and it was not bringing down the temperature
yeah.
actually. And then after replacing everything, it's been 2 years, everything is good.
Yeah. So
So
what
yeah,
happens in this case, Sayyidaji, is now what happens if you set the temperature at 24 degrees centigrade, say, for example, which is normally recommended temperature. People do set it at 18, 20, which is very cold, but then it brings in too much of load on the compressor and machine. Anyway, so you set the temperature at 24. When the room reaches the temperature of 24, the compressor has to cut off.
yes.
So if it doesn't cut off, your compressor keeps on running, and one day soon it will conk off, it will go off, and you have to change the compressor then. So
Yeah,
yes, if the
exactly.
thermostat can give you that type of troubles also.
Yeah, that type of trouble, as well as if thermostat is not tripping and it's not cutting off, then it will bring you the good DEWA bill as well, because it's
Yeah,
if
yeah, it's going to
keep,
be a big problem, and not only DEWA bill, even the maintenance bill of your machine.
I never thought of, because the
Yeah,
DEWA bill itself was very well shocking for me
yeah.
2 years back. So anyway,
So
so that's why this topic is very close to my heart, because that month our DEWA bill was blew up, and then I realized that it was just 300 dirham small thermostat that needed
which
a
was giving you the
replace. Yeah, that gave me a thousands of dirham of bill.
Yeah, I know. It will do that way. You have to be very careful with this air conditioners. Actually, people normally, when the air is blowing cold, we don't really care for it. We just enjoy the nice air and just forget it. The day it
Yeah.
shuts down, we start. See, this is the biggest mistake everyone makes. The day the machine stops, the day the air conditioner stops, and then we start running haywire to everybody to get my AC done, emergency. I want it yesterday,
Yeah.
so that's the
Yeah.
thing. So we
Exactly. It
need to,
happens.
yeah. So we need to keep it, in a condition so much so that it
Happen.
won't break down immediately. Of course, after doing scheduled maintenance, it's a machine after all. It's not that it's not going to break down, but the possibilities and the chances are then less.
Yes. At least you are preventing
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So if I'm renovating a house, do I need to keep AC ducting redesigning in mind, or the AC ducts are all fine? We don't need to think about it.
Okay. So now how this goes about, Sayyidaji, is like what happens is, suppose if you're renovating, means up to what level? Are you going to change the sizes of the rooms? or you're going to maintain the room sizes same and just paint it and just do some furniture changes here and there, then it's okay. Like if you're changing some, many a times what happens in restaurants, if you see in big hotels, if it's a restaurant of say people of 50, they increase because of the capacity increase, they make it from 50 to maybe 65 or 70. They just take a small portion on the side and they start increasing that area. So if your area increases, your heat load increases. Of course, in a house this heat load will not increase, but your air distribution will change because your rooms have changed. So if your your what you call the orientation of your rooms have changed, then you might have to do some modification in the ducting, etc. And that has to be done by a proper AC designer or whoever, to check in which room is what size, and then give that much amount of airflow so you get a proper cooling over there.
Exactly. So how important it is to research on the type of AC that we want to buy for our house. So energy saving ACs.
Yeah. What happens is, Sridevi, nowadays there's a lot of going on in energy saving, and energy management.
Right.
And there are machines which are come up with 5-star rated. Okay.
Right.
The basic thing that is important in any air conditioner is the EER, that is the energy efficiency ratio. Now, okay, I will tell you one thing. Now, when you buy machines, uh, also over here, you have the EER at T1 condition and EER at T3 condition, which
Right.
is which is the T1, which is the one condition is for 35-degree temperature and one condition is for the 46 degrees temperature. Most of the times when you go to when you tell a supplier, I want a machine, I want a 4-ton machine, he will say, okay, 4-ton machine, X amount is the price. You have to ask him, this 4-ton is at 35 degrees centigrade. I'm not using those terms now, T1 and T3, because the normal people will not understand this. But if you're asking for a air conditioning machine, ask them whether this 4 tons you're telling me at 35 degrees centigrade temperature or 46, because 35 is a nominal temperature. Normally they will tell you the nominal temperature. You have to ask for the actual temperature, because in this part of the world it is 4629, means 46-degree temperature is your dry bulb temperature and wet bulb is 29 degrees. So you have to tell them that. So that's the most important thing. Now the most important thing from the energy efficiency point of view is you have to see the EER, energy efficiency ratio. And what you have to see is how much is your power consumed against the air conditioning effect or air conditioning performance that you've got. We call it as BTUs per hour. How much is the BTUs per hour against the power that is consumed? So these are the parameters, and this is what we do with old machines. We do a review, or we do a survey with machines like what is the power presently consumed and what is the performance of the machine actually, and then we tell them that whether this machine is an energy efficient machine or this has now become an energy juggler. It's time to replace the machine, so then with buying a new machine and with that saving, you get a better ROI than keeping on spending on the DIVA bill on an old machine.
Right. Yes,
Yeah,
this is a
yeah,
very common problem in the old development here, like Springs, Arabian Ranches. They have, it's been like for lovely community. They have a lovely area, but the machines itself has become very old, and that is causing um, the problem in the houses, from moisture to the less cooling and higher DIVA bill. So I think they should now, people should start thinking on replacing the AC unit, which
definitely.
is a one-time investment, but yes, it pays off
But on
in
a
long
long
run.
run, it pays you off. There are two things. One is you get a better ROI on that. Second thing is that from your health point of view also, when you have new machine, you have new coils, you have new filters, the air which comes is also healthy, and you get a good indoor air quality also with that.
Right.
Yeah. So it's say an average age of a machine is normally 8 to 10 years. After 10 years, you should generally change the machine. If your
Okay.
machine is 10-year-old, replace the machine. It's the highly recommended thing and most advisable thing to do it.
Right. Thank you, Fatma, for watching. And if you have, guys, any question, please feel free to ask from Mr. Yogesh, and it will be our pleasure to answer your question, your concern. Coming back, I got one question, and it is deep cleaning of a AC is needed every year. Deep cleaning of the AC. What does deep
Yeah,
cleaning of the AC
I
means?
will
Is
tell
it
you.
only the coil cleaning?
Yeah. See, what happens what I mean by deep cleaning is when you service the AC completely, you do a chemical flushing of the coils, your condenser coil and your evaporator coil. You remove the blower, you clean the blowers, you remove the you clean the housing of the blower. You service each and every part, you clean each and every part of the AC. After that, you do a duct cleaning also, because there is accumulation of spores and molds over a period of time inside the duct.
Right.
So you do the cleaning of those ducts also. So complete cleaning of this means deep cleaning. That's what I meant to say.
Okay. And another question I have got is moisture. Okay. So she's saying that I get moisture on and off in my house. How can I control that?
Mm. So see, moisture, there are various parameters to this. Now, moisture is a very tricky thing. One thing is her air conditioning performance has to be checked. That is the basic thing. The second thing is, in her house or wherever that AC is serving, is there any opening or small crack in the wall, or a window left slightly open, it's not locking properly? Is there any air infiltration of air? Is there any
Mm.
infiltration of air which is causing? Because what happens, there is a big difference between the temperature outside in the summer and the temperature inside. And because of this difference in air, we call it as delta T. Because of this delta T, the
Mm.
moisture, there is a condensation happening, and then this it converts into this moisture, converts into condensation, and that water and this and that and all these problems come up. So
So,
what sort of moisture she's actually talking about? Is she talking about this type of condensation issues, or she's saying that the humidity levels in her house is not comfortable? I mean, that she has to clarify on that.
so Ashi, you need to find out first the problem that is happening. Like Mr. Yogesh has said, you have to see if there is any crack or the window is left open or the AC is not performing.
Or any infiltration is happening, AC is not
Or
performing.
yeah, AC is not performing. So you need to check these things, and better to call some expert to find out actual problem with the moisture. So let's go back, and Fatma is asking, should the air conditioner be left on the summer when we go on vacation? Very good question, Fatma. This is a pain point, and should be, yeah. So expert should answer. Yeah.
So summer, like, see what happens is, of course, if you're going for a long summer vacation and all, it's better to switch it off and go. But like if you're going for maybe 2 3 days time, what you normally do is you raise the temperature of the AC. You know, take it to maybe 30 degrees and leave it over there. See, even when you're going, say for example, for a family of maybe four, children are going to school, the husband and wife are say working, maybe whatever that may be, and everyone comes back in the evening. So what you can do is you need not switch off the AC every time you leave your house. you, Whenever you're coming, you start the AC. I mean, whenever you're there, your AC is running at 22, 23, 24, whatever.
Mm.
And then when you're leaving the house, you raise the temperature to 28, 29. And then when you come back, you can reduce the temperature, the way because what happens, Now, when your AC is running at a temperature when the temperature outside is like 46 or whatever, 45, 46, whatever. So it has already it has to cool the air inside from 46 to 24. Now, if it is running at 27, 28, it's not taking that much of cool also, and yet it is maintaining your room at 27 and 28. So it is not going to be, in terms of Diva consuming electricity or something like that, it's not going to be that way. So you raise the temperature and then you can come back. So what happens? You get programmable thermostats to do all these things.
Yeah, this is what I was saying.
Yeah.
Programmable
So,
thermostat.
yeah. Programmable thermostats. And what you can do on the programmable thermostat, you can schedule your day of the time, date, day, everything. In fact, for the whole year, you can schedule it on it and you can keep it. So, like when you're coming out, when you're going home, when you want the temperature high, like for example, say at morning at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, once we have slept, and we are at rest, then the temperature goes down considerably, and we start feeling cold, and the AC is running at 23, 24, and we start taking blankets. Now this is sheer energy loss because we are running AC and we are feeling cold and we are still running AC. Okay. So at that time, you can raise the temperature slightly at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, up to say maybe 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, up to 26, 27 degrees centigrade. Again, it can come back after 2 hours or so, it can come down to 23, 24. So these type of things can be done in a program. And that's the way you also save your electricity in your day-to-day operations.
Yeah, so Fatma, our tip here as well, if you have a Honeywell, like he said, the programmable, the new Honeywell thermostat, there is an option of occupied and unoccupied settings. So if you are going out, you need to just press the button that will turn it to unoccupied and set your unoccupied on 27, let's say. So if you are gone for 2 to 3 hours and leave the auto AC settings, fan settings to auto. So it will automatically turn off your AC on 27 or 28, whatever. And then when the temperature increases, it will turn on and off accordingly. So in this way, you will save. So in my house, what I have started doing is I have started putting everything on auto. The whole AC, my whole problem in the start was high energy bill. And it was a big challenge. And I used to be like a security guard of the thermostat, always turning on and off and on and off. But ever since I changed all the thermostat and then I put everything on auto, my energy bill has gone down. So my whole house is on 24 and everything is on auto. But bear in mind, every 6 months we service our ACs to have the proper aircon optimum performance. So yeah, so keeping it on auto and leaving it on 24 if you are at home, and if you're leaving, put it on unoccupied and set it to 27. So you can read the book on the thermostat. You have the manual, so you can set it according to you. So programmable thermostat is something that makes your life very easy.
And that is the
So
reason,
yeah,
in many people in big villas and all, they go in for automation and all these things. So
yeah.
yeah, so
Next
automation
week
is. Mm.
our automation expert is coming and he will be talking about automated aircon system, how automated smart thermostat can save us in long run. So he will be talking about this. Yes, you are very right. Automation is something that is very helpful and keep your life very
Definitely.
easy. Yeah. So another question arrived, and again Fatma is asking, will that not keep my bill same high in summer or winter? Keeping it. So no, Fatma, it will not, because you are setting it when you are not home. If you are setting it to 27 or 28, it will just help you to have the air circulation in your house, keeping the moisture away, because your ACs are your indoor air temperature is different than outside in summer. Outside it may be 46, 48 degrees, and inside if it is 24, yes, you are at home. But if you are not home, you are on the vacation, you can always put it on 27, 28, so that the air conditioning, yeah, the airflow is working and there is no moisture in the house. Hence, no more surprises when you are back and you see molds. So many times people approach us and they say, we went to the vacation, we came back, and now we are seeing so much mold on the mattress, on the walls. What has happened? The only thing happened is they entirely turned off the AC, and because of the change in the temperature inside and outside, that has caused the problem. So Yogesh, I answered this one because
Yeah,
it
so
is,
no, actually what happens, I will tell you. At 27 and 28, you know what happens? Your compressor does not cut in. Okay.
yeah,
See, you get a Diva bill whenever the compressor cuts in. You know, whenever the
yeah,
compressor starts, you get a Diva bill.
right,
At that temperature, it will not cut in. You will on your blower only will keep on moving. You know, it will
exactly,
giving the air flow outside, throwing the air outside basically.
yeah,
So that is not a much high electrical
electrical
consumption. Yeah,
consumption, yeah,
yeah.
right. Okay, so now another thing that you just touch upon is a smart thermostat, you said. So what do you think? Is it a good investment, a smart thermostat?
Yep, it's a very good investment. It's the latest technology, and as I said about programmable thermostats, it's like the smart thermostats.
Right,
So, see, as human beings, we do make errors. We forget things to, switch it on, switch it off, and all these things. If you have an automated system to switch off your air conditioners or switch it on when it's really needed, then you are optimizing on your usage. I mean, in short, you're cutting off the useless use basically. You know.
exactly.
So and it's going to definitely help you in that way. So what does actually energy saving mean? Energy saving means that switching off your energy consuming equipments, it may be AC, it may be light, it may be whatever it may be, when it's not needed. That's the basic concept, and that's what automation does. When you program it, you don't you don't need it, it automatically cuts it off. So yes, it is very useful, and it has to be installed. Highly recommended actually.
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Okay, so another one question, and that is actually high diva bill because of water. So this is another question, and they are saying that because of water, my bill shoot up. So what do you recommend actually? For I
Inheritance
think
water.
if you have a garden and in summer you are watering the plant, yes, it will definitely. And if you have a
Yeah.
swimming pool, then definitely it will affect. A good tip here could be have a irrigation system installed in your garden that has a timer, so you don't have to hose off the plants and and just intentional choices of living can help you have the sustainable solution. So just making the intentional choices can make your life easy, keep everything in under control. So yes, it is another question arrived for you.
Wait, 1 minute.
One
I will
minute, yeah.
just talk on this.
Mhm.
As you said regarding the this thing, what we are doing, now government of Dubai, they have come with the green building regulations. Now in
Yeah.
the green building regulations, what we are doing, all this AC condensed drain which is coming, even that is stored in a that is directed into an irrigation tank.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that water is used for cleaning or gardening or something. That's very pure. That's pure water. That's the water from your atmosphere. So it's clean
Mhm.
water. It can be used for gardening. So that is one way. Second thing she was mentioning about the usage, she can use water aerators. We can
Okay.
provide water aerators, and she can you install those on our sanitary ware, and that will reduce it will increase the pressure, at the same time reduce the volume of the water. So that
Yeah,
will
I
save
got your point.
100%.
Yeah, right. I used one and literally it changed it's same like having a low pressure and a high pressure in the shower as well. So you
Yeah.
have to put something, what did you say? Water aggregator
Water additors.
additors. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you can just put it to the shower head and it makes
Yeah.
good pressure in the shower.
Yeah, like for my shower, it was earlier utilizing 10 liters per second. That was the flow rate. When I
Yeah,
put this aerator, it has gone down to 6 liters per second, but the pressure has increased. So what
yeah,
happens is with the pressure, you don't feel that the volume of, see, the bulk of the water has reduced, but the pressure
yeah,
has increased. It's more better still, in fact.
yeah, exactly. Environment friendly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now another question. So many questions coming in. How to control bill with Empower? The
Ah,
buildings
this
that
is
have the chiller system.
another.
Yes,
See, Empower actually they have a fixed rate, and their BTU meters work on the amount of the BTU consumed and the delta T and all those things, you know.
right.
So again, optimizing your usage is the only secret to it. There is no trick or idea that you can. One thing is, first of all, need to keep your AC service, that is your strainers cleaned, and your second thing is your filters clean, your coil,
Right.
your indoor coil clean. That's the basic thing to do. Ensure that your actuators are functional. Sometimes what happens, your actuators remain open. There's a two-way control valve in that. Now above this two-way control valves, there are actuators. You need to see if they are properly functioning. If they are open, then you just have a water flow happening, and unnecessarily. So all these things are there. And then you can have a programmable thermostat installed over there. See, whatever you're using, it's going to be built. Again, you need to curtail your wastage. That's the main thing. And what you could do is the main supply that is coming after your BTU meter. If you have a valve, you can slightly reduce the flow over there. But then if you reduce the flow, again, what happens? The amount of chilled water coming to your unit will be reduced, and there can be a reduction in the tonnage. But if you don't need that much of amount of, you can always reduce that much of flow over there. But ensure that your strainers are clean, your actuators are functional, your filters and coils are clean. So you
Yeah.
don't have, yeah, you don't have a back pressure on that.
And yes, always
One more thing,
I would
sorry,
recommend. Yeah,
one more thing.
yeah,
Also check if their building has a PICV valve. Nowadays, we are installing pressure this PICV valves with delta T controllers on the lines. So pressure independent control valves. Yeah, so basically what happens, these control the flow of water in the system. They adjust the flow automatically. Earlier we just had the DRVs, the normal. Now this becomes too technical to explain. What I mean to say is, if there is a PICV installed, automatically there is a optimization of the chilled water. In short, what I can tell you, but I don't know. If the buildings are old and they had DRVs, the new buildings are having PICVs.
right. So yeah, new buildings may be having a
Yeah.
better valves and better connection, better energy saving equipment. So yeah, guys, always remember to put AC on auto. That is very helpful. It will maintain your house environment, your office environment. Automatically it will be turning on and off your AC whenever the temperature is going up. It will turn on automatically, so you don't have to be a guardian of those thermostats, and just leave it like that. Another question, Yogesh, is
Yeah.
bed smell, which
Yeah.
is another big challenge for ACs. So
Mm.
how do you want to address that?
Well,
So
yeah,
sometimes we feel like there is a bad smell of the AC, which is
this is
sometimes
this is a really a tricky problem, and it's very difficult to identify where exactly it comes from. Like, I was telling you the other day, we had been to one of the apartments, and they were complaining about this. So what happens is, normally your fan coil units or your air conditioners are located in the void of the false ceiling in the bathrooms, in the washrooms. And what happens is you have all your return air which is coming, from the void of the bathrooms to the machines. You also have over there these access doors or access panels for the drainage pipes.
Right.
And that day we could identify that one of the access panels was loose, and from where you access the drainage pipe, that cap was loose, and the smell was, it could be identified. So we sealed it properly, we closed it, and we made it good for him, whatever, and that got. But at times you really don't understand where it comes from, and you need to really, these type of problems, you need to really get into it, get on the side, because each problem will be have to be handled in a different way. It's a custom problem, you can say, customized problem.
Yes,
So
yes. So brand new house can have the same problem.
yeah, of
15
course,
years old
can have it.
house can. Yes.
Yeah, can have it. So basically you need to, exactly, like the other day we had been to DSOA, and we saw over there in one of the apartments the flexible duct above the extract fan. There is the extract diffuser, and there is a flexible duct, and which is connected to the fan. What happened was the diffuser, the flexible duct had come off. So the fan was sucking the air, but there was an opening between the diffuser and the flexible duct. So the
Yeah.
suck was mixing with the air in the void where the return air of the AC is there, and this was getting spread through the AC.
Right.
So you
It can
just
be.
can't say, what type of
Exactly.
So you need to
So,
exactly identify where it is, the source. You have to identify it.
yeah, and sometime it could be your toilet seat that is not having a proper silicone all over. It could be your toilet connectors that are not really installed properly, or they are not right size. These fall and bad smell can be caused because of that. So there are so many different different reason
That is
for
one thing.
this.
Yeah, that is. And one thing is there, always one thing is there, your kitchens and your washrooms have to be maintained at a negative pressure. Meaning that you should have a strong exhaust over there. Because if you maintain it at a positive pressure, what I mean by positive pressure and negative pressure is when you come from outside into an air conditioned space, the air conditioned space air comes on you. So
Right.
because that room is positive with air conditioned air, so it's positively pressurized, so it comes on you. If it was negative, it would be the other way around.
Right.
So but your washrooms, because otherwise if your kitchens and your washrooms become positively pressurized, the foul smell or the bad smell, that also comes out into the rooms.
Right.
Yeah.
So these exhausts have to be very well
Yeah,
installed.
and then your house, of course, has to be properly ventilated for a good indoor air quality. There should be sufficient amount of fresh air. you know Nowadays for villas and all, we are having something called as heat recovery ventilators. So
Okay.
when which we throw the bathroom, washroom, or the kitchen air through these ventilators, so the air conditioning heat is used over here, and we take the outside air and we put it into the building. So what happens, the 46-degree temperature air first comes down to 30 degrees centigrade, so the load on the air conditioner is reduced in that way. So we have all these things to ventilate and properly maintain a good indoor air quality within the whatever apartments or villas or whatever.
One last question, and
Yeah.
that is regarding COVID. So do you
Any?
think that COVID,
Okay.
so do you think AC duct aircon system is a carrier of COVID germs?
AC duct,
AC
air
system.
conditioning system. Yeah. So you're asking me whether air conditioning system is a carrier of COVID or not, COVID virus or not, right? This is the question. Okay.
Yes.
So what happens is there is there was one restaurant in China, and there were some 83 people at that time,
Mhm.
and they had this. Mm, air, of course, it was an air conditioned this thing. So what happened? They investigated that the virus spread from table A to the machine, recirculated back to table B to table C, and back to table A. And some 10 odd people were infected that time. This is what the investigation was done. Now, what happens is air conditioners normally are just recirculating the same air into the volume of the room or villa or whatever that may be. So it doesn't take any fresh air from outside. Now, for maintaining a good indoor air quality, what is important is a proper ventilation in the house and a strong filtration. These are the two basic parameters which are very important. Now, most of the times I've seen in buildings over here now, I shouldn't be saying, but most of the times in the buildings, the associations of the building, they switch off the fresh air handling units. I was called to one of the towers, that there is a lot of smell in the building corridors and all. So I first thing I asked them whether if your FEHUs, they said no, we have switched off the FEHU, so we are saving like 30% of the electricity bill. I said that's the biggest mistake you're doing. If you want
Right.
to save the electricity on your fresh air, we can give you the solution, but you should not be switching off the FAHs, because if you don't have fresh air, first of all, our buildings are completely sealed, our houses, air conditioned houses, are completely sealed, so no fresh air should come in. If it comes in, you will have condensation, you will have moisture coming in, which is not friendly to the air conditioner. So we have to have forced ventilation inside. So you have to maintain a proper ventilation, a proper extract should be there. We can install some sort of CO sensors or VOC, volatile organic compound sensors, inside the house. And whenever there is a deposit of CO because of the accumulation of people, like if you go to public places like banks, clinics, hospitals, where there are too many people over there, if we put a CO sensor over there, and with a certain period of time, the CO sensor will indicate the amount of carbon dioxide collected, and it will exhaust that air outside, and then it will bring in the fresh air. These type of systems help you to maintain a good indoor air quality,
Right.
basically. So
Rightly said.
when these when these uh, uh, when these systems work, your viruses, your molds, your bacteria, everything is exhausted outside. Air
Right.
conditioning system does not purify all these things.
Right. So having the proper air system is
Yeah,
very essential.
ventilation system.
Ventilation.
That's why it's called as HVAC, heating, ventilating, air conditioning. That's what it is called.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it from my side. I think I don't have any further questions. This
Okay.
session was meant to be 30 minutes, and I think it's more than 45 minutes we have been
Okay.
discussing, because this is
Okay.
the hottest topic in the town. And yes,
Yeah.
every house need a proper AC system,
Definitely. Definitely.
especially these days. So
Definitely.
thank you very much, Yogesh. And
You're
one
most
quick
welcome.
question,
Yeah.
and it's a surprise question for you. And
Okay.
any discount for your services that our viewers can avail?
Sure, we can give them a first free consultation. We can go to their place, we can check it out. Normally, it is charged, but we can give them a first free consultation, and we can guide them what exactly we can, through their problem if they have any, and we can charge them. And definitely, if they are working with us, we can give them some better rates or something like that if they are coming through you. So all those things can be managed.
Done. So viewers, what better thing you can get? It is free consultation from Yogesh and his company, and that is the best thing to have happen, that you will get some expert at your door who can just do the consultation, who can just find out the problem, give you the solution, give you the energy efficient solution, and design something for you and your family and your workspace. Thank you very much, Yogesh, for your time. Yeah.
First free consultation. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
thank you very much, Yogesh, for your wonderful offer.
You're most welcome,
And
Sedaji.
thank you very much and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, viewers. Bye.